All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. I apologize, I am late. So, let's get this party started. Give me a few moments, gotta just make sure that the chat's working. And what a crazy day yesterday, right? Things were going all right, then things weren't going all right. It's crazy to see how Apple's just keeping up the entire market. So, with that being said, we're gonna look at Apple a little bit today. Um, We've also got some key news, oil and OPEX. I think all of that's coming out right about now. So let me get pulled up some chart. Let me get some charts pulled up. Let me check in on the chat. And I can't spell this morning, so you guys are gonna have to do that, right? So, give me one sec. All right, let's do this. I need to check in on couple things and then we will get going. Invites. All right, that really sucks. So I need to do and this, that. Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry, like I said, I'm a little late this morning, but now I think I should be back on track. All right, with that being said, the first thing we're going to do, as always, is the welcome, the intro, and we're going to go over what I am, who I am, what I do. So, my name is Algo. Thank you for joining me on this Wednesday, August 18th morning watch list. It's 2021, and we are going to have fun today. So, I got to make two little adjustments right here real quick. And nope, come on. I've got this giant ass monitor over here on my right hand side that is got a bunch of stuff, so I'm not just turning my back on you. I promise I'm not. So, morning, Lazario. Hope things are going well. Yesterday was a crazy day in the market. We have some news that came out overnight that we really need to pay attention to, and that is here. Okay. So, a couple of things. NVIDIA has earnings after the bell. Hood has earnings before the bell. Now, Hood is Robinhood, and I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with their earnings. They may blow out and explode, or they may fail and explode. It's just such a volatile stock. I've not traded it yet, but I'm super interested in it. If you're interested in the cannabinoid cannabis market, Tilray announced an acquisition of a major outstanding convertible notes of MedMen Enterprises, which is another in that sector. So any news with Tilray, they're going to be very reactionary. They should rip. Okay. API, American Petroleum Institute, reported that crude inventories fell 1.163 million barrels last week, and gasoline inventories fell 1.979 million barrels. So that's a decrease in supply, which is going to increase the demand, which will mean probably higher gas prices. So we got to keep an eye on that. That's super important for the overall market. The market will react to that, and yeah. Target and Lowe's had earnings last night. Lowe's blew out. Lowe's should be right around 190. About a $10 move overnight. Yeah, 180, 189, 189.85. I'm looking for a pullback and then a rip at the open, so keep low on your watch. Target had kind of the opposite reaction to earnings in that, you know what, I should be pulling these up on a chart so y'all can see what's going on. You need to remind me of these things. You need to nope. This has to go back over here. I'll just put it over here for a minute. And we got to get in just in case we get an opportunity to trade. So, all right. So we're going to look at Target and Lowe's for earnings reactions. I'll get those ones pulled up. Yeah, look at that massive dip on Target. Oh, I'm glad I didn't get into this one after all. I was trying to get in an iron fly at the bell. It didn't fill me. and that's a good thing. We pulled back all the way to the weekly top at 247, maintaining support there. Look for a continuation to the upside on target. Yes, they had an earnings beat, pretty significant drop, but this weekly support is pretty intense. Right, currently the daily 4-hour weekly bottoms, looking for a slingshot squeeze to curl around and release maybe the next day or so. MACD is also negative and decreasing when money flow is gone. So looks like a lot of profit taking, bounced right off of this 241.70. Let's just call it 242 is the low. Whenever stock does that and stops at that low, I consider that a pretty significant demand zone. I will go back in time and I will find the doji or the doji that stopped it and drop in a long-term demand zone there. Just knowing that if that stock, I'll keep this running, and if that stock ever comes down near this, we know that there's possibly a bounce and a pickup. Morning, Travis. I know you've got limited time. Let me know what you're looking at so I can get to it first, okay? This was target. Nice bounce. Really just a pull. Let's see, they went to 242, so they pulled back all the way down to here. So, quick rejection off a -3 ATR. All right, let me get my futures chart set up over here. And we're going to go like this. So hit me up if you have any requests this morning. I want to look at futures. I'm going to give you guys a screenshot of futures. And then we'll look at some fib levels. And then we'll jump right into taking requests and looking at plays that we can get into today. Possibly continuations or new ones. I was in a bunch of plays yesterday. I forgot that Powell was speaking, so I had to close him out. I took a little bit of a loss. Lesson to be learned from this. We all know when these key events are going to happen. I personally like to get as flat as possible before them, so I really should have closed these out on Monday. But I didn't. Okay, looking at the ES. ES is looks like it's range bound. Kind of chopping back and forth. Currently making lower lows and lower highs. That is a nice little falling channel. We'll keep an eye on that one. The NQ keeps running into overhead resistance. I think this is the 50-day. We'll keep an eye on that. Let me just ask the question real quick. All right, YM looks like it was holding support, fell through support. Now that's resistance. It doesn't look like it's having an easy time getting through it. The Russell, on the other hand, is making higher highs and higher lows. Way to go, Russell. ES, pop, block, and drop it. Pop, falling channel. NQ, pop, falling channel. All right, the YM, right? Look at this. This is the opposite of what we want to see. It goes up, runs into a moving average, gets rejected off of that. Up again, second attempt, still gets rejected. Third attempt may get through. This is a nice little pattern here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a reversal because this line doesn't count, right? This is a 1, 2, 3 Dow reversal. Looks like it rejected. Keep an eye on it. Again, the RTY, the Russell, higher highs, higher lows. Looking good for the Russell. Okay, keep that in mind. Let me go check back in on the chat. And all right, Travis, you want to look at Visa? I was looking at Visa. I actually got into MasterCard yesterday. That was probably my best play that I got out at a slight profit. very, very slight profit. I also went and got back into it after Powell spoke. So Visa, very similar chart pattern. I'm going to go ahead and put MasterCard underneath it for anybody who's interested in looking at a second set of options, right? These stocks move very similar to each other. Visa, I would have to give a little bit more. Let's see. I don't know. I still really like this MasterCard divergence. I think it's a little bit more significant than Visa in that it's, yeah, they're both solid. They're both solid picks. Yeah, I like financials going into the next couple weeks. I posted something about what sectors like higher interest rates, transports, financials, gold, and which ones don't like. So, Visa, MasterCard, maybe American Express. Definitely want to check them out. Okay. Going back to the analysis, looking, I've got the 1 minute, I'm switching this up for you because I know you're busy. I've got the 1 minute chart on the left, 15-minute chart on the right. The 1 minute chart, this would be basically just trading as of yesterday. Kind of range bound in that when we had opening range low to opening range high, back down to low, currently trying to make its way back up to high. Algo is trading with price action. The algo is currently vertical. So that's pretty important to know that the algo is with price action and it's pretty much vertical. Had a block trade come in on the 12th at 233.89. That's your level of support. Keep that in mind. As far as price action is concerned, we're making higher lows and we are continuing to make higher highs. Slight megaphone pattern, so keep an eye on the opening range high yesterday at 235.15 and the 127 at 235.67. Those are going to be some pretty significant levels. I haven't checked it overnight, so it may have already been through. Okay. Looking at the 15-minute chart, we do have a longer range divergence where some of these micro divergences have played out. That's why I kind of like MasterCard a little bit more for this. But the algo is trading with price action. We've got a nice base of block trade support. We do have one dark pool level coming in at 232.65 that we will use as support. Below that, we have clustered regular block trade levels ranging in the 232.21-ish area, right? So we've got some pretty good base of support currently resting on that block trade, that 239.89 that we showed over here. We have a shorter term block trade target at 241.50, which is pretty interesting because that's where divergence occurred. Right, so that's the divergence we're looking to play out. Possible $5-6 move. I like it. Definitely like it. All right, so the algo has been pretty much in a nice strong uptrend, right? Currently consolidating. When it's flat like, oh, I grabbed the wrong tool. Dang it. When it's flat like this, I consider this, really? Come on. There we go. Consider that consolidation. The algo is barely curled down, barely. And as long as it can, now it's kind of hard to see, but I'd like it to curl up and break out of this box I drew for it, right? That would give me a lot more confidence. Visa did come in and fill the gap. It took out previous lows, got support. Kind of uptrending with a little bit of a wedge. Look for that breakout. We've got key levels here. Obviously this divergence level, block trade. Keep that in mind. That's going to be super important. Let's see if I can do this. Never tried to really do it. I guess I can. Whoa. It's not going to let me. I was going to try to circle that block trade level, but it's not going to do it. So as long as Yeah, as long as this level right here doesn't really break that box, I'd really like for it to get out of. I'd like for the algo to make a move just to show direction. So while we're at it, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do MasterCard since it's open and it's very similar with a little bit of a difference, okay? It traded mostly with price action yesterday, right? It's currently at the opening range low, so I feel like it's got a little bit more room to 365 being the key target level. Price action trading with the algorithm. I really need that algo to get in gear and get above the opening range low, right? When that breaks, I would look for, the opening range high. It's currently resting at the 50% retracement. So it tried once to get through it yesterday, and I remember watching this move, right? It kind of faded off of that, but if you can tell, it's maintaining, right, uptrend, right, kind of a little wedge-ish here. So keep an eye on that. Moving over to the 15-minute chart, I don't see any block trades in the last 10 days. Unlike Visa, there's no large institutional. There's not a large. I mean, I'm sure there's interest, but nothing on block trade levels, right? Which means that this is pretty much purely price action. So the algo has. There we go. The algo has pretty much been trading in a net buying position with divergence occurring here, right? So this really pretty much this level here is going to be my target. So right around 371-ish, right? Maintaining uptrend support. Well, we broke it, but then we maintained new uptrend support. We're at a very key level where we've got previous lows that was support, right? See how I drew that out? It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. If we break that level, I think there's a nice play. In one second, let me just. I think there's a nice opportunity to play that move, but the key level is going to be this breaking here. I really should have used a different color for that, but yeah, super interested in that. All right. All right, so that screenshot I just showed you, I'm gonna make that as one of my secondary screen charts so that I can just, flip back and forth like this between it. You know what I mean? Okay. Oh crap! Did I really just screw? Whoa, Lazario, thanks, bro. Oh man, I screwed that up bad. Yeah. So everything I just said about MasterCard on the 1 minute is, yeah. Oh, that sucked. I hate it when that happens. So yeah, it definitely changes a little bit of my opinion. I don't like how the algo is pointed down on MasterCard. I'm not sure if that's just a temporary or if it's an indication of maybe a longer term move. Couldn't get over that opening range low. However, it does. Thanks, man. Right, the algo is very similar to price action. If it breaks that, then I may exit my position in MasterCard. But it's a little range bound, so it's kind of normal for it to move. It's not going to move obviously in a straight line. So as long as that rising channel continues to hold, we're looking good. We come up and took out the 127. This is that 1618 tip tap top that we're trying for. That like I said, 365 is that level that I'm really looking for. 365 and I'd be happy. All right, so I'm moving my charts back to the 15-minute charts to go over some other stocks. All right, I'm gonna check the chat real quick, see what we got. All right, Roku and MasterCard, yep. mRNA, Invax, and Pfizer. Alejandro, let me look at that. That's Starbucks. Sure. All right, we're gonna do SBucks, mRNA. I mean, those are all in the same kind of sector, right? Those are all biotechs or healthcare. I feel like they're all going to move similar. mRNA has obviously been a little bit more volatile. Let's see. Amazon. I'll check out Amazon. And Starbucks. Pfizer is a little bit more interesting to me than mRNA. Like mRNA is simple. mRNA is, we'll get to it. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. All right, Starbucks. We're gonna go with Starbucks first. Then we're gonna do mRNA. We're gonna come back down and check out Pfizer. And then we're gonna check out the Amazon. Amazon 15. Sorry. All right, let's go. All right, so price actions trade with Starbucks. Price actions trading with the algorithm. So block trades and dark pool have given us some pretty specific targets. We are trading at a regular block trade level at support 116, resistance 118.50 to 118.92 with a pit stop at 118.12. Overhead resistance at 117.09 is a dark pool level. So if we can get above those, then I think that we have a shot of continuing upwards, right? The algo is trading with price action. Price action is forming kind of a little bit of a, I'm just going to call it a wedge, right? So yeah, we need the algorithm. I should have keyboard shortcuts. I need it to get up above these regular block trade levels. Look for price action to really struggle at this dark pool level. Looks like came in, bounce, break, support, market sell off. It's continuing to make, I mean, as long as it's continuing to make higher highs and higher lows, Starbucks looks pretty decent. Personally, I like Starbucks above some, like, I'm going to wait till it gets out of there. I don't like playing this. I mean, this is probably a pretty solid move, 117 and 119. For me, I want to play the easy move, 119. Yeah, 119 and above. That's Starbucks. Moving over to Myrna now. So, while Myrna looks good, I see something here that is, right? Is that head and shoulders pattern? Right, is that over? Right? Did it find support and retrace from it? So just keep an eye on that. We would need to take out some of the highs for this head and shoulders to be invalidated. But looking at block trade levels and price action, we've got a regular block trade level that's causing resistance at 405, right? We've got one below that at 400. So if we can get up and above that, that looks good for a longer term move. Immediate target, I went over this the other day, immediate target 443, followed by 486. Okay, we have a dark pool level that is also target 455. That's probably the level I'm going to be looking for. We've got a base at 383. The algorithm is trading with price action. I'd mentioned this on Twitter the other day. Got blasted on it for a little bit. Right? It's not clear divergence, but the algo is trading with price action. This is a pretty significant angle of ascent. Right? I'm looking for a key break of this 405. We get above 405. I feel like there's a gap to fill. Excuse me, there is a gap to fill here. Right? 405 to, that's a good move. So fill that gap, and it should be a nice strong move. So mRNA on the charts, possibly. mRNA. Wow, that was a slow reaction. Myrna. Right, so 3-bar play, currently at the 4-hour top. We are in previous demand zone territory. Why am I so laggy? That is horrible. Looking for a slingshot squeeze to release. That's very interesting there. But like I said, we need to get up above the 405 level for me to be really interested in it. Looks like we are... Oh. So we double tapped at 410. And we double topped at 410. And this is a supply zone. Basically here to here. That's the supply zone. A break above, break out of that. We got room to move to 432. Above 450, we really launch. So this giant doji right here, I'm going to do this on this chart over here so it's a little bit easier to see. All right, MACD on the daily is negative and decreasing. We're currently trading at -1 ATR. We'd like to revert back to the mean. That's not Myrna. What's going on? Lame. All right, I'll try that again. All right, I'm going to move on. Amazon over here on the lower left corner. This is nice, slow divergence, but, you're like, oh, wow, this is great. No, it's actually, Amazon's kind of trading with the algorithm. Since the algo is not anchored to any y-axis, right? If I zoom in on this, it will be trading with price action. See what I'm doing there? Pretty much trading with the algorithm. All right, so price action has stopped making lower lows. The algo is still trying to make higher highs and higher lows. We've got, let's see if I can find the key level here. All right, the algo is in a generalized, right? Pretty much net buying. A little channel here. Right, see that channel that the algo's made? We got to keep an eye on that. There's a massive gap to fill, basically from here and to there. That's a big giant gap. It's probably better to do that one. So while it's slowly trying to make its way, we got this level there. Okay, so Amazon can easily move up to this overhead resistance, this overhead trendline resistance. What's important is what happens at that level. What's really interesting is I'm not seeing, like, I have to go back 17 days to get a block trade to show up on Amazon. Like, how weird is that? And when it does show up, it's a dark pool level, and it's a dark pool level right at that previous overhead resistance, which is where we need to break to start filling that gap. This level here. 33.81 even. Okay, so Amazon, while it can move, this is a glorious gap. I can't wait for it to fill. So 33.81 is the level for the dark pool block trade to get over. Price action will disagree. Price action probably puts it more like 3,400-ish, but it's continuing to make higher lows. It hasn't made higher high in the last couple sessions, so just keep an eye on it. The Algo is range bound trading. I like the little curly Q that's happening here. This little curly Q here. I like that. I would like for it to definitely break above that to show conviction. Okay. Pfizer on the right hand side of the screen. This is just, you know, if you would have bought it on the second, you would be what, $5 richer. It's continuing to try to make new highs. The algo is trading with price action. Currently, we've got a bunch of block trade support. I already went through Myrna. I don't want to. Pfizer would be my preferred choice. I feel like it's got a little bit more in it. Invax would be another one. Right, these are all moving very similar. Anytime we've got news coming out, you know, we've got, if you would have got it here, great play. Right, 254 on Invax. So I'm going to go ahead and check in on a couple of other ones. I'm going to look at Spotify. I want to look at Roku, and yeah, Spot is, oh man, that was a beautiful consolidation yesterday. Roku. I also want to look at Airbnb and DocuSign. All right, Spotify. This is gorgeous divergence, right? We've got some previous block trade. I mean, we've got a bunch of block trades to get up and through. So nice move from 206 to 215 would be pretty solid run. Or excuse me, yeah. Let me just go through it. All right. So the algo is. All right, the algo is in a generalized uptrend. It is parabolic move stepping, right? So it's up, and then it consolidates, and then it blasts, right? And then it consolidates, and then it blasts again. So that's the move we're looking for. Nice little higher lows. We've got this pretty significant wedge to break out of, which I'm looking for that to happen today. Once that breaks 208, we've got a cluster of regular block trades that's going to come in and provide resistance from 211.80 to about I can't really see it, but like right around 212. So the move would be a break of this falling. No, it's just a wedge, really. A break out of this wedge, resistance at 208, continuation move. Looking at Spotify, I bet you it probably did this overnight. I haven't even checked. See what it's doing. All right. So Spot has got a, like I said, it's in this wedge. Right? Look at that. It's just lots of overhead resistance. Currently trading at -3 ATR, which is a ways away from the mean. Anytime stocks get that far away, they really like to pull back. A pullback to 217.20 would be previous high. So there's room. There's a $10 move there with taking profit at 210. I want to get the pullback to 225, but we have point of control at 216.50. We've got VWAP at 220. The MACD still hasn't curled around enough for me, really, to be super interested. The BB squeeze. Let's see. So it looks like it released to the downside. I have to double check with the way I've got this one set up as far as if white's good or bad. I can't remember. RSI is neutral. All right. Looking for if it. I don't know how that keeps getting changed. That's better. All right. See this wedge? Like it's made minor higher lows. Right. It broke out of that support. So, right, key levels of support. It's below the 50, below the 200, above the 8. So we've got VWAP coming in at 206.51. I really need to get above these moving averages, like this level here, 207, to even begin to look at getting into this trade. If we were to take out Monday's highs at 209, right, that makes this trade a lot easier, but that's a $3 move. So we need to keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and drop a line here. 207.50 is a key level for me. Right, we want to go spot long. All right, I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. My kids have gone back to school, and I had to wake up my daughter. All right, so looking to get an alert on that breakthrough, then I'll reevaluate. I feel like this is maybe a trap, right? We've got this level here. Oh, don't know what to do about this area there, right? So I need to see some things from spot to really give me conviction that this is a true reversal, right? That's interesting how that 200 SMA is right at the previous low. So looking to make, those moves should be pretty solid. Want to do this. Okay. I'm going to jump back over here to DocuSign is, let's see, I was going to do Roku. I got to start moving through these pretty quickly, so I'm not going to be able to really color code things, right? But let's just look at Roku. So Roku is in a generalized, right? The algo is moving in an upward channel. Price action looks like it's made higher lows, but this is a pretty significant, like that's a long time channel. So really with Roku, I'm looking for, a breakout and above some of these previous levels to go long. The algo, as long as the algo is, right, I'm looking for this algorithm to turn back around and continue to, I'd like it to turn up and pull price action with it. However, if it breaks down and through, then I think that we see price to continue to go down. ABNA, I don't know what ABNA is. We're on the Airbnb. All right, lower left corner, Airbnb on the 15-minute chart. This is a pretty significant falling wedge. Looks like we double bottomed. Explosive moves can happen from this, right? The algo is diverged. Look at these block trades, how just set up they are. It's crazy, right? 145.04. Had a block trade that came in yesterday, right? That's causing resistance. We've got a little bit of a double bottom here. I'm super interested in getting into Airbnb on a break of that, and to go ahead and just targets up here. The target's gonna be that 152, but every block trade level on the way up, I'm gonna be taking profit. Okay. The algo has got, so it's not going to do it. All right, so I'd like the algo to turn around a little bit. It really does need, the algo is going to be the decision maker. Okay, that's Roku, or Airbnb. Moving over to DocuSign over here on the right-hand side. Yeah. DocuSign's a little, it's a little interesting. It's a little interesting. Looks like the algo's fighting the fade, right? So DocuSign is slowly making higher lows. Like, yeah. So for me to get back into DocuSign or to be really interested in it to the long, I need it to break above previous highs. It can chop around in this range for the next couple days. Yeah, so just DocuSign is going to be interesting. All right. What does Algo I think will happen today with Apple, McDonald's, and Neo? All right, Apple, the bane of my existence. All right, the Algo is basically flat. I mean, it's flat. It's making higher lows, but it's barely making higher highs. There's a massive wall of block trades that are providing support. There's a ton of interest at this 146 level, right? Apple's continuing to make higher lows. Apple's just tough. Like, I feel like this might be a little bit of a very, very subtle. Like, can I consider this a Head and Shoulders? I don't know. Apple's tough, right? 151 block trade, 150.50, 150.20. Like, if it rejects off of these levels, I would think that Apple could possibly come back down and test this cluster that we have here, right? Taking out previous highs, like, yeah, keep an eye on it. Neo, I don't know what's going on with Neo. I think it's just like fallout from all the negative Chinese news that's going on. Oh, that reminds me, I want to look at Baba. I mean, the Algo is continuing to sell. We have a dark pool level that's really providing support for good old Neo. I mean, I think this is such a great company. I just hate that it's like, right, well, price action's making higher highs. Here's me higher lows. Do you guys see a pattern? This pattern is just repeating itself all over the place. You know, wedge breakout. We have a gap to fill. Right. This is that, hey, I've recovered and I'm making the move back up to the upside. 39.57. I didn't mark it with the right color. 39.57. It can chop 37 to 39 for weeks. So as long as the algo is pointed down, I'm not super interested in going long. I also don't want to short it. All right. Yeah, I'll just keep an eye on it. McDonald's. All right, so what happened here? McDonald's is trading with the algorithm. All right, overall long. All right, overall uptrend. This is a cup and handle forming. All right. All right, so the algo's curled up. For me, taking out previous highs of McDonald's will release some energy for the move back to previous highs. Week 141, yeah. So that's kind of what's going on with it. Just I would watch for the algo to continue to make a move up. I don't see any reason why McDonald's can't go up and test previous highs, but getting above it. So I'd like it to break above it and back test it. So, break above it, come back and back test it, and then It's not gonna let me do the third move. Whatever. Baba, like, ugh. It's really being held up by these dark pool levels at 174.25. Right? I think this is a good. I'm gonna try to get into this because it's not. I mean, this is a massive company, billion dollar company. It's not just gonna go to zero. So I'm gonna keep an eye on Baba. I don't like how the Algo is. I wish it was kind of curled up a little bit. I'd be interested to play some quick moves, right? Any of these gap fills should be interesting. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for joining me. My name is Darkpool Algo. I'm here every morning, Monday through Friday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you have requests, make sure you hit me up on Twitter. Make sure you do me a favor, and I'll ask in return for this content is you hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications for new and updated content. I will see y'all tomorrow. If you have any requests, on Twitter at Darkpool Algo. If you don't have your free trial of FlowTrade yet, check it out. There's a link all over the place. If there's not one in this description of this video, let me know in the comments and I'll make sure I get one placed. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Stay green, stay safe, and don't fall into the traps.